We are live. Welcome everyone to a groundbreaking moment on Her First Million, a new YouTube channel tailored exclusively for women business owners in manufacturing, construction, and the trades. I'm Amanda Bedell, your host and your guide on this journey. With Her First Million, we're dedicated to providing 3 segments to transform your business and its trajectory. So the first segment is called Love Your Numbers. In there, I'm unraveling the complexities of financial management. That's where we demystify the numbers so you can confidently optimize your business for greater profitability. And then in the second segment, it's called Ask Amanda. Your questions take center stage where no question is off limits. So whether you want to slide into my DMs for privacy's sake or share your queries in the comments below, I'm thrilled to hear from you and share insightful answers that can help you steer your business in the right direction. And the segment I am most excited about are the interviews. I'll sit down with trailblazing women entrepreneurs who have excelled in industries traditionally dominated by men. In these interviews, we'll unearth the strategies navigating through all the challenges and uncover the well-kept secrets that have led these exceptional women to that coveted first million and beyond. Today, right here and right now, we are live. We're about to have one of those conversations with none other than Monica Mack. Her story is set to inspire. Her insights are set to transform, and her journey is a testament to the incredible potential that awaits within each one of you. So without further ado, let's dive into the heart of Her First Million and welcome our very first guest, Monica Mack. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining us.
How are you, Amanda? Thank you for having me. This is so amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much. So Monica's company, M3T Commissioning, provides comprehensive third-party custom tailored commissioning programs through all the phases of a construction project. Their programs are designed to add risk management by monitoring on-the-job safety, very important, promoting best construction practices, identifying and documenting installation and functionality issues, as well as documenting prospective solutions through reporting and testing processes. The reason why this is so important is that it provides it provides an outsider perspective, which I find very valuable. It's kind of an independent organization that can vet through the design of a construction project without presenting any of those conflicts of interest. And one of the things that I love most, Monica, is in the article. So I found the Silicon Review article where you're quoted saying that M3T commissioning alleviates snafus. And I just love that because it kind of gives a little bit of personality to business jargon sometimes. So thank you. Thanks for being here. And how did you get into commissioning to begin with?
Well, it was my first job right outside of college, honestly. I was searching for a job and was approached about an opportunity to become a systems engineer, a test engineer, which later became dubbed commissioning for the U.S. Navy as a contractor. I was commissioning submarines, believe it or not. It was awesome and scary at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5,000 men, less than 1% women, and 0.1% in the field. So a lot of days it was me. That was it. It was just me out there. But that was my introduction and kind of where I fell in love with the idea of commissioning.
Where do you see the industry going and what keeps you going in it?
Well, there is a passion for it at this point. I've seen a lot of different perspectives of it. Starting out from a military perspective of it gave me a real appreciation for what it does and what it provides. And then moving on into the standard building world of commissioning, the industry regulations are starting to change where the industry is going green. So the right now thing, the very current thing for right now is it's going green. But public safety, as we have more low admissions, no admissions requirements, as we have new regulations for building envelopes, and we take the environment into consideration, public safety is going to have to bump up a little bit more also. But going green is really big, and there's starting to be some push behind it with the government also.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep track of. And um, so, as it pertains to our listeners, a lot of them are wishing and hoping one day to be you. As you progressed towards your first million in revenue, what were some of the primary obstacles you encountered, and how did you overcome them?
Well, with any business, it's not necessarily for the faint of heart to be an entrepreneur, but you have to stick to it. Pick your goals and stick to them. And even if you don't get to where you're supposed to be, you can try again. You're not done yet. So it can be a bumpy road. It's not always straight uphill. We've been really lucky, but it's not all luck. There is a lot of preparation. There's a lot of things to learn, especially if you were like me and I came from an engineering background and I became a business owner. So you all of a sudden, that learning curve is really steep. You have to go up and you have to learn the insurances and the laws and the taxes and how to manage other employees. But it's awesome. If you love to learn, you'll learn a lot.
And you're a founder of this business. So it's not like you came into something that was already functioning, which means that you started at $0 and you grew beyond that. So as you approach the $1 million mark, let's even say, and if that's year based or, 500,000, 600,000, where was the push or pull that obstacle that kind of said, okay, I need to become CEO of my business now. I need to create something that's bigger than me. When did that happen for you?
At the very beginning. We were lucky enough to get started by referrals. And it was no small feat in the beginning. I was literally asked to go into business, and because they wanted to use my services and not necessarily the company I was with. So I had to make a decision, go out on your own or stay where you are. And ultimately, I invested in myself and decided, look, let's find the people that I trust, family, friends, and let's go for it. So I had my first business meeting somewhere near Thanksgiving and was like, hey, look, we're going into business. So it was from the very beginning. And not to say I wasn't scared or I understood what a CEO was supposed to do, but it was going to be done in my mind. I took that opportunity and it paid off. It really did.
Yeah. What is an obstacle that you can remember? Maybe it has to deal with like numbers of people, like your employees. What was something that just really was a significant obstacle to reach that 1 million for you?
Well, showing up and being yourself, this is a very small community of people.
Yes.
And I am one of very few women that I know of. And I praise any woman that is in it. It helps you to learn to be genuinely you. This job is about team building in a very psychological type of way. And there are some job sites I walk onto and to be a team, but that issue is a goal and us all working together to get there. So that was sometimes an obstacle, but learning to show up anyway, be yourself, ask everybody to do their very best, and pulling together that team, that helped us become more profitable. That helped us. It was the basis of how our business grew, how our customer base grew, how the amount of work we did grew. Our goals weren't necessarily money based as much as based on flexibility and freedom. And for people to be in the company and feel like they were accepted, wanted, and needed, because they are. So
Definitely. Well, that dovetails right back into the question that I have next, which is what's the most significant mindset shift you had to go through to reach that 1 million?
That first job. For some people, working with 5,000 men might, sound like a dream. It's not. I'm sorry, but it really isn't, because it's 5,000 people know when you go to lunch, know when you go to the bathroom, know when you show up and when you leave. And I did stand out, and for a very long time, I tried not to. Um,
Mm,
that's not my personality. My personality is a lot more bubbly, not someone who just hides. And I found myself hiding and, or just letting anyone get inside of you to make you feel angry or frustrated or nervous. That's not my personality. And I had to show up as myself all the
yeah.
time and embrace it and love it, even when it was not, the popular thing or the normal thing that you found in that environment. I'm here and I'm not leaving. That is the mindset that I had to obtain. And for any women in an industry where you find yourself, at an extreme minority, it can feel lonely, but you make friends and you meet people, and they're invaluable to your experience, good and bad. I mean, my experiences on that site and on the next site, and even some job sites that were, what most people would consider horrific, got me here. It got me to a
Mhm.
position. And so I appreciate that journey that I took, and I love every moment and every person that I've met, because it does bring you closer to where you need to be. So show up as yourself every day, quirky, nerdy, I'm all of those things. I have corny jokes every day, but that's who I am. I'm not going to be your typical, what the stereotype of is as the boss, as, I have to be extremely hard and show those men. That's not me.
Mhm.
They're going to see
Mhm.
me regardless.
Mhm.
I'm going to show up every day. So,
And the lesson that I hear from you for the viewers is that that's where success really started
mhm,
to compound on itself, is because you brought yourself there, your personality got to shine through, and then
yes,
we're able to experience more of wealth and experience in our businesses and growth in our business because you came authentically and as you. I
right.
think that's so cool for people to
Show
take
up
that.
with your talent. Show up with
Mhm,
your talent. You can build a team that complements your talent, but you
mhm.
should show up as you every day. Every day.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Could you share some experiences or insights that you have regarding, I don't know if you love this term or I don't love it, but imposter syndrome? I like to call it more like self doubt. As
Mhm.
a women entrepreneur that's in those male dominated fields, I think that's right in line with what you're saying. But do you have any other experiences or insights on overcoming that for folks?
Yes, I definitely do. And it has nothing to do with that part, actually. Um, I didn't always feel like imposter syndrome was something that could be labeled for me, but as I grew as a business owner and entrepreneur, that's where it started to show up in little pockets here and there. Those bubbles that you have to pop and not let fester. Um, Especially when it came to starting this business and getting into banking.
Mm,
Finance, yeah, I can read the sheets and, especially now, but I can read the sheets and run the reports. But when it's very intimidating when you start, and not everybody sees your vision, or not everybody understands the path that you're trying to take, and not everybody's willing to invest in it. So
mm,
that was a big, feeling like you deserve that start, feeling like that the banks, should want to invest in small businesses. They say they do, but then when you showed up, and even 2 years later, some of them, weren't calling and willing. And it wasn't a credit thing. It wasn't
mm,
it's and there's a societal thing that gets way deep into your mind about there's a mindset that is in there that you may subconsciously be there, but over time I've had to break that down and understand that I'm working hard, and the people who don't believe in me or haven't kind of caught onto the train, they'll be left behind, because I'm going to keep going. I'm not
mm,
done yet. So because I'm not done, I, I have to pop those bubbles when they come. If you ever feel any doubt, you have to pop that bubble and keep going. Find if you think of something negative, there's an exercise where you counter it with something positive, or two things positive, or 10 things positive, and until you get rid of that doubt. So if that's what you have to do to get through your day, so those things don't grow in your mind and fester and take root, do that, because
mm.
it will help you to keep going, because your ultimate goal as a business owner, until you say you're done, you're not done. You're not done yet. So
I feel like that's going to be a theme for us for this
yes,
segment is all about you're not done yet.
nope,
And I want to highlight what you said around banks. I say this to my clients a lot is the banks are not available to you when you need them and hammering on your door when you don't need them.
exactly.
And if a bank ends up watching this, awesome, get a hold of me because I have clients that definitely need it and don't have any credit issues. But we deal with power over, specifically when it comes to men making these decisions on whether or not a business is bankable or not. And to the point of that is just even 2 weeks ago, I was in front of two bankers trying to advocate for my client to get a loan for her for capital.
Mhm.
And they put her in, and I said to them specifically, like, you put her in the wrong product. You sold her into a product that that's not what she needs. She needs a loan, a capital loan. So, and we had to do that. We had to fight for it. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of banks, and just don't give up. It's what, you're not done yet. What you're saying, Monica, is that you're not done yet also means that just keep going to the next person. There's another bank. There's another banker
Right.
there that can see the vision in a much better way. And, having them know the construction industry too is really important, especially with those bonds and the things that you have to do in order to secure a job.
Yes.
So that's awesome. What strategies do you implement to address gender related challenges or biases in your industry? And how have they impacted your business growth positively?
Um, the term, well, there are going to be many, for me, gender based challenges and biases that come up. Um, I don't run into many women that spent much time in the field, even if they got into the project management side or any side. And I've spent time in each role going upward in my industry. So there's going to be a lot of biases. And you have understanding that I picked an industry where it comes with the territory. Um, the industry that I'm in is not going to make a lot of changes. It comes over time.
Mhm.
So some of the adjustment is going to be on your part to do the work, show up, do the best that you can, um, and then bring awareness to the things that do pop up. That not all safety equipment comes in small,
Mhm.
or bringing that to your company's attention when you get there. That was something that I had to bring up to every single company when I worked for someone else. Was like, yeah, this is great, but can I get it on my side?
Yeah.
I mean, but there's other, you'll run into people who don't think you should be there.
Mhm.
That is not something that you have to deal with. That's their problem, not yours. Remember that always. You cannot change the way they think. You can change the way you react. And to
Mhm.
be professional at all times and do your very best and keep your receipts, people, just in
Mhm.
case, because you may run into a detractor. You may run into someone who has something really deep seated in seeing you there every day. And like I said, we're going to show up every day, so make sure that you have your receipts. Keep track of the work you do, handwritten or otherwise. Make sure that you keep yourself in the very best light. Try and make the best out of the situations. And if you don't be hard on yourself. I've had to go to therapy for going to different job sites. I've had to do it, especially when I work for other people. And that's why my goal is for people to show up, be themselves, and feel safe. Feel safe. And
Mhm.
if you don't, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be there. It means that you may have to try a different approach. It may mean that you may have to have some uncomfortable moments to get to the next comfortable one. It means that you have to grow. You can't force them to grow, but you can grow. You can put yourself in a position to push forward and let them know that, hey, I'm just as good, maybe even better, and I'm not going to back down from that.
How do you, as a identifying as a female, how has that impacted your business growth positively, do you think?
I would say that it hasn't been the determining factor. Your business is a
Mm-hmm.
business. I'm a female, my business is not.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the best way to look at it. But there are situations where people will look and be amazed, but that doesn't necessarily help your cause. You still have to do the work and
Mm-hmm.
do it very well. Be sure about it too. Be very sure about it. You have to do your research. You have to stay on top of your game. You have to make mistakes and pick yourself back up. Dust yourself off. Be friendly with yourself. But ultimately, being a female in this industry will present you with unique challenges. You'll have to be creative. You'll have to be flexible. You'll likely have to pray a lot. I mean, that's the nature of the business. But like I said, you will meet some powerful allies along the way, some really wonderful people, and use those positive moments to fuel those moments that aren't so positive. It's not going to be everyday roses in your industry. And
Right.
like I said, you can only change what you can change, but push forward, keep going.
Keep going.
Mhm.
With the adaptable landscape of business, I mean, you mentioned earlier about increase in, in what was the word that you used?
Green
The
builds.
Yeah, green build, and then also just like what the government is looking for, this red tape and then that red tape, like with all the changing landscapes, like how does it influence your decision making? How do you stay adaptable and resilient?
It does not
Hmm.
change my thinking. I look for my customer pains and we do our very best to exceed them. That's it. You know, you, knowing your customer will help you know your industry and see where it's going. You'll see the trends based on the people complaining about the same pains, or hey, I don't have this, or hey, can you find this for me? You will find that overall there will be patterns, things for you to decipher. It will be in your reports, it'll be in your uh, reviews and referrals. So pay attention to what your customer or your market is looking for. Pay attention to what they need, and it will help you guide what's current, but also where the market's going. Um, that will help you stay resilient. That will help you have these brain children and these visions of where to go next. It will help you decide what's right for you. Also, if you're offered an opportunity that's not right for you, it's okay to say no.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I really identify with what you're saying there. And I feel like I need to say something of it's okay in order to have some of those brainchilds, as you called it, you need to step away sometimes.
Mhm.
So as women, we're always striving to do things better and like reaching for the next bar and because we're outsiders in this industry, we feel as though we need to be on a lot. And
Yes.
so I think that it might be important here to say, viewers, don't forget to take care of yourself, because when you step away and spend some time decompressing is when you can have the brain children come up and give you an aha moment that you weren't ready for
Yeah.
until then.
Agree.
Yeah.
I do have those moments. I do try and come up early and have those very quiet moments to
Mhm.
check in with myself and to check in with where we need to go, what we need to do, what's on my agenda, but also to just relax and let those the feelings as well as the ideas that I have flow until I can catch the ones that are important for that time, for that day, and then write down the rest of them for later.
That's great.
Mhm.
So I have a signature question that I'd like to ask you, and then for some resources. So what essential knowledge or insight should our listeners take away from us today to reach their first 1 million in revenue?
Be patient. That's going to be
Mm,
my very first thing. Be patient and be kind to yourself. I don't always look at money as the goal. I
right.
see it as like the vehicle. So set the goals that you really need and want, whether it's money or something else, and then work backwards. But be kind, be patient with yourself. Also, get to know yourself and your talent. Spend some time alone, spend some time with friends, ask people the questions that you need answered, but know your talent so you can build your team with people that you admire, love, and that complement those talents, because that's going to be very important. No CEO that I know has done this alone. Nobody that I know has made a million by themselves, even if it may look like that. So be patient and build your team, build the people with the people that complement you.
Oh, that's so good. I oftentimes with my clients, I put, we do a circle with them and their genius zone in the middle, and then spokes out the side of like, okay, what do I need? And not thinking about people, but thinking about what's outside my genius zone and how can I fill in so that I'm getting all of, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to have other experts that surround you.
Yes.
So that's so key thank you for sharing that. And then lastly, can you recommend some resources, books, or workshops that have helped you along this journey?
Yes, definitely. That is awesome. I just finished reading Traction. It's by Gino Wickman. Love it. So I've been in business almost 10 years and had no clue. I was a visionary. Like, I love it. But that's my role. I was like, why do I hate doing these tasks? Because I don't love them, because I'm a visionary. I'm supposed to love the ideas.
Yes. Oh, for those of you who have not read Traction yet, it is so good. And what she's describing is the kind of organizational chart that is it gives an outline of just a templated one where there's a visionary, and then there's an implementer, and then there's marketing and sales, operations, and then HR and IT. And that's it. It's super simple to look at. When I use it, I kind of, depending on the business, we adjust what those are. But yes, it's a great book.
Yes, I love that one. And I have an awesome integrator. But then going forward, I love Bring Yourself, Maury Taharapour. She's a negotiator. She's brilliant. I had a chance to learn from her, but her book is beautiful. It tells you when you're negotiating, you got to know what you need. You need to know your goal, but also check in with yourself. It's a great book, great read. Bring Yourself, Maury, Mori Taharapour. Sorry, please forgive me.
That's good.
And the best of all, Goldman Sachs, 10KSB. I just finished mine, cohort 18 in Baltimore. They are the most beautiful and wonderful cohort in the world. And how I met Miss Amanda, I really appreciate you. It changes everything, especially as an entrepreneur. When you get to the point where your business is ready to go for that next level of growth, it is invaluable. And it gives you a whole network of other entrepreneurs that help your mind spark, your business grow. They become a family of people that get you. Like really get your entrepreneurial mindset. Like when you walk into a room with your family, remember this, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to go to the moon with my next venture. Are you sure? But if you walk into 10KSB, they're going to be like, did you get insurance yet, girl? I know.
Yeah. It's so true. Oh my goodness.
So think about it that way. They're very supportive. I had the best BA, and 3 of them. I actually adopted all the BAs because I love them so much. But it was invaluable to get that experience and to meet the people I've met. It truly is amazing. So if you get 2 years in and you have a good revenue and you have at least one person under you, please visit 10KSB. They will help you push yourself and grow.
And I got to say that the resources continue to happen. So I did 10KSB in 2016 with a bakery business that I owned, which I sold in 2019. And they are still advocates for me. They wrap around the entrepreneur, rather than just the business. So it is about you. And let me tell you, I've been to 2 alumni events since I have been a graduate, and it is the exact same feeling going into those alumni events. You sit down, and I don't know anyone, but you sit down at the table for lunch and you just have friends. I don't love networking. It's just, but we're all the same and everyone is just really cool. So
Right.
it is definitely worth it. I'm just going to say that.
It
I'm
is.
so glad that we got to talk about it a little bit. So Traction, Bring Yourself, and the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. I will put links in the description when I post this, so that viewers that want to learn more about those programs or those books, then they can learn more.
Yes.
So as our conversation with Miss Monica comes to a close, I want to thank her for sharing her invaluable insights and experience. Her journey serves as a beacon of inspiration for women entrepreneurs striving to make their mark in traditionally male-dominated industries. Is there any last words you'd like to say, Monica?
Thank you for having me. Honestly, this has been an honor and my very first time going live. So
Me too. So much so that this is the second time we're trying to go live. The first time was 4 seconds long. But thank you so much for your graciousness and allowing to be my first interview of what I hope will be many more. Because remember, Her First Million is much more than a channel. It's a supportive community, a platform for growth, and a space where you can find guidance and motivation needed to propel your business forward, all in my signature handheld style. We'll continue to bring you thought-provoking interviews, practical advice, and a wealth of resources to help you achieve your goals. So stay tuned, stay motivated, and keep pushing those boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, I'm Amanda. Thank you so much, Monica. And this is Your First Million.
thank you.